Kaustubha Das here with the big announcement for Wisdom of the Sages listeners. This August will be Ashram month at the Super Soul Farm. Simple ashram living, rising early, morning kirtan, yoga and pranayama, healthy vegan and vegetarian meals, farm seva and being immersed in nature, and then gathering in the evenings for kirtan and readings. Plus, each week we'll have a lead presenter teaching a different facet of the philosophy and lifestyle of Bhakti-yoga. Week number 1 will be the exceptional Bhakti Lata teaching a course called The Beauty of Bhakti, bringing the culture of love and devotion into our lives. Week number 2 is my brother from another mother, Raghunath, teaching Falling in Love with Divinity, the Bhakti-yogi's method for opening the heart. And week number 3 is myself with a course called Following the Path, examining the history and teachings of Bhakti-yoga. You can come for 1, 2, or all 3 weeks, and the pricing is by donation. For more dates and information, go to wisdomofthesages.com/events. Peace.
Live from a charming town in Italy, this is Wisdom of the Sages, a daily yoga podcast with your host, Raghunath, and co-host and senior educator at the Bhakti Center in New York, Kaustubha Das. Welcome to the show. Welcome to charming Italy. I am back.
It's very charming.
It's incredibly charming, this town. And today, I'm playing in a castle. We're playing a private show for a fan.
This sounds weird.
It does sound weird.
He's just going to sit there and watch you guys perform.
Like Mr. Burns.
Like Mr. Burns.
No, well, I think it's for, no, I think he's like a kid that was a fan many years ago, but he became a famous artist. Okay. And I think he has a castle in his town. Are we allowed to say what town this is? What town this is?
Vittorio Veneto.
Vittorio Veneto, it's called. And so it's like a special thing he did. We had a day off, so we did it.
How's the tour going?
Get a lot of realizations, man.
Thinking about life out there?
Thinking about life. First of all, I realize how touring schedule is exhausting. And I don't know, ever since I went into my Saturn period, I just don't have that animal energy I used to have.
Shani is slowing you down.
Shani slows down. Saturn slows you down. It takes away. And so, so I'm a little slower. And I realized this is a very, very oh my God, we are driving into a freaking castle. Oh wait, I lost my video.
Yeah, what happened?
There you go. Look,
tell me the truth, Raghunath. Is this tour, or is it like We Are the Road Crew? Are you guys just like wild? You tear into a town and you burn it down, and what's the truth?
No, it's like we could barely make it out. We get there, we're exhausted. It's exhausting, man. It's very, very exhausting. But I met a girl yesterday who I've known for 25 years, who started my Lord Vishnu tattoo on me. And she contacted me. I haven't seen her in 20 years, now to think about it. And it's like, this is it. It's like, I haven't seen her in 20 years. It feels like yesterday I got this tattoo, and she finished it, sort of finished it. You can see it a little bit.
Oh, more work I've done on that?
I think, yeah. My point being is, time flies. Last time I saw her, she had a little baby. Now her little baby's 20 years old. Wow. And we're just burning through time quick.
Okay.
And, we always talk about this. Time flies, things happen fast. And, it's not the what's in your life that make a difference. It's the who's in your life. The what's, it's like, what do you get with your what's? Once you get your what, it's like, well, what else? I want my who's. And if you have some good who's in your life, it's a real game changer. And the real thing I like about the Bhakti philosophy is the spiritual who's are not just there for yucking it up and having a good time. They're bringing you to new levels. We're climbing to new levels. And that's the potency of hanging out with the Bhakti Vedantas, the spiritual who's. It changes us.
Okay, I like that. That'll lead right into our nugget, but I think we should check in with Mara first. And by the way, is this Mara's birthday today? Tell the truth.
God. What's the date today?
It is.
It's August 1st. I missed your birthday, Mara.
It's Mara's birthday.
It's 6 a.m.
It's Mara's birthday.
I know, but I didn't say it. I talked to you before the show, and I didn't say happy birthday.
Happy
okay.
birthday,
I
Mara.
feel so
Thank you.
horrible.
Thank you.
Mara, I'm so sorry. No, Mara's like my bestie, and I didn't say happy birthday.
Well, no,
to her.
Raghunath, it's
You got a lot of hours
late in
left
the
in the
day where
day,
you are,
but
but it's still early in the day over here. So it's like
You haven't missed it yet, Raghu.
All right.
gifts
sorry.
can still
There's still
Come,
time
man.
for all the gifts to arrive.
plenty of time for the gifts.
And Mara
Amazon.com.
she's still young. She's just turned 40.
Oh yeah, she's.
She
oh,
still
wow.
thinks there's hope.
Oh no,
She
hold
still
it.
think
We have
she
to
still
shift this whole
thinks there's-
show. Mara just
What do you mean?
turned 40. Like that changes everything.
well, that means like she's at 40. You still have hope in the material world. Like, well, I could redo my life. I could,
Or does she? Let's
Pretty.
find out. Or does she? You know, it's like
Yeah.
Mara. How does it feel to turn 40? Where are you at?
I
with
feel
this?
great. I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty grateful to be where I'm at in life. Grateful to be in
Okay.
association of so many great, wonderful people.
You see that?
Inspiring people. Yeah.
Doesn't matter. You could be turning 80 right now. It'd be like the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Look at that, Mara. She's doing great.
well, I'm here on your birthday to tell you there's no hope.
Thanks, Raghu. You tell me that when it's not my birthday
There.
too.
There's no hope.
I'm like a
365
very-
days a year.
I'm like a very fun person with a streak of like, harsh reality.
Harsh
That's
reality.
that's my nickname, harsh reality.
That's pretty good. Like Harshal
Because
Gore.
harsh. I'm gonna call him harsh reality. He's our regular Zoomer. Well, 40 is good. It is a lot of hope. 50 means no more hope. No more hope.
Did Prabhupada say something like that? Or is that the Hindi
No, it's
thing?
it's like the Hindi thing.
That's right.
I
there's no
think-
more hope.
I think 51 means no hope.
Well, in other words, literally the word 51 in Hindi kind of translates as no hope or something like that. Is that what you're
Something
saying?
like that. One of the acharyas translated it to
You kind of
meaning
twisted
no
the
hope.
meaning out of it. No hope. It means no, give
Yeah.
up material enjoyment plan.
Yeah.
There's no more hope.
I'm a very positive person. I've got a positive outlook on life, I'd like to say.
Okay.
But it's one of these things when you from the vantage point of 50, you could just see how like, oh man, people are getting struck down with disease and death, and sometimes young children get sick and stuff. You've just seen too much, so you have less hope in the material world. But fortunately,
that's a good
since
thing.
fortunately, since we've been kids, we've been training ourselves to see hope in another world within this world, or should we say the material world is within the spiritual world. So we're having not like a spiritual experience. We are a spiritual experience. We are a spiritual experience. And because of my dull mind, I'm having lots of material experiences. But we ourselves are, you don't have to climb a mountain to have a spiritual experience. You are a spiritual experience. Appreciate it. Get spiritual today.
You got that, Mara?
Yes.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. We're a spiritual experience that forgot, and I'm trying desperately to create a material experience that will last.
Okay, word
You
heard.
know why I love stone? Do you see this stone building?
Charming, Raghunath.
It's charming. All the Europeans are like, we got that everywhere, big deal. But America, we don't. So check this out. It's like stone buildings and stone. This is the closest thing we have to eternity in the material world. It's like a stone wall, a stone building, a stone arch. That's why when you see it, you're like, oh my God, something resonates deeply with me when I see a stone wall like this. If you're not watching on YouTube, you can't see or Zoom. But
Okay. We're gonna have to you're going off on tangents now. Let's get back to Mara now. Thank you for the stone wall realization. and Mara, do you have any announcements on this birthday of yours?
We do.
it's auspicious day.
It
Our
is.
friend Zeb is offering an asana class at 4 p.m. for our Patreon members.
Do you say
Okay.
my friend Zeb?
I said our friend Zeb.
Is it a
our friend
problem?
Zeb, yes.
Can she also have him as a friend?
Yes.
There's back to recovery group meetings at 1 and 9:30.
Okay. We didn't get
Okay.
Mara a gift. We got to get Mara some kind of. Well, we did kind of sponsor her to go to Italy, didn't we? Did we do that?
Well, big deal. She does all this work for us. That's not a sponsorship.
Okay, well, it was something. That was a gift, right?
It
That was pretty
it
good.
wonderful.
We got to get her an official. We got to give her an official gift.
We do.
I'll think of something.
Official birthday gift. Maybe one of those Wisdom of the Sages T-shirts.
Yeah,
Ooh.
maybe a spatula.
Got spatulas.
A
Someone think of
whisk.
that.
A
All right.
whisk.
Now, Raghunath, let's move on. Why don't we move on to the nugget? We had a nugget
Hold on
picked
a
out
second.
for
There's an
today.
Italian. No capisce.
That one comes in handy.
As esta man.
Oh, you go.
Otra.
You go now.
Si.
Eh?
Si.
No, no here.
You're in the band, making the noise. You come here.
I mean, no sé. No capisco. No capisco.
Non capisco. Non deve entrare con la macchina, con la auto.
He's this guy. This guy will help.
Okay.
Raghunath, we
Italiano
got a
boy.
show we're doing here. Okay, enough.
We got a show.
It was
I'm
cute
sorry, I'm getting-
for like about 4 seconds.
I can't.
Grazie, mille grazie. He's talking to me. What can I do?
Say I'm doing a show.
I'm doing a podcast. A podcast.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Nugget, Raghunath. Nugget.
We're keeping it real here. All right, give me a nugget, my friend.
You want me to read the nugget?
Well, I'm on my iPhone today.
Okay.
So
I'm going to read, and it's appropriate right now because you're on a total squirrel thing. I want your attention.
he keeps talking to me. He won't stop talking to me.
Just move on. Just drive away.
I can't. No one's here. They left me for pasta. Okay, go on.
Say on the telephone. Here it is. We don't know where this came from. We got no idea, but we liked it. So we're bringing it on as a nugget. I think this week we're
Okay.
just doing like random nuggets. Just like it can come from
Okay.
just social media kind of stuff.
You know what I was thinking would be good? Nuggets from Yoda.
We can get there to Yoda. We can go there, but not this week.
Before. Okay.
I was
Let's do
thinking
Yoda
doing
week
JD
next week.
Salinger as well, but for
Yeah, JD Salinger, Yoda.
now, all our favorites. This one we don't know where it's coming from, but listen. You ready, Raghunath?
Yeah.
My soul and mind are starving for deep, rich, authentic, stimulating, intellectual, spiritual conversations. Isn't it true?
Sounds like something I would say.
I'm going to say it again. Well, you
Quote
didn't
me,
say it,
quote
so you
me.
can't claim it, okay? It's like,
I say that all the time.
I'm going to say it one more
always
time.
saying that.
I'm going to say it one more time. And think about this, right? Like the soul is starving. My soul and mind are starving for deep, rich, authentic, stimulating, intellectual, spiritual conversations. It's what gives it gives life. Without that, our life is mundane and dry and dull. And even no matter how glittery whatever it is that we're like tuning into, it really doesn't satisfy. We're still starving. We're thirsty. We're hungry.
Well, you know, driving around on tour in a van, it's like the conversation you get. You know, sometimes I will say I've been laughing a lot,
Okay.
but it can get very mundane very quick, and then all of a sudden it's just like that's your day of mundane conversation.
Well, I'm going to tell you what you do, Raghunath. Okay.
Well, you know, I have been.
You got a plan? Strategy?
Yes, I have a strategy. I have like certain things I do in the car every day. First, I do a whole elaborate puja, including the offering of delicious foods. In my mind, I do a beautiful manasa puja. My
Okay.
deities get the best fed when I'm in a car.
That means he's doing the rituals, but entirely in his mind, because
Yeah.
the external ritual is ultimately meant to engage the mind, right? So you can do it even without the externals.
Doing them on a Youth of Today tour in a van, a sprinter across Italy.
Okay.
And so anyway, and then I have, you guys guess what I got? I
Tell me.
got a Hindi Bridge Basi teacher.
You told us about that
online.
last week.
Yeah, well, I got it, and it's happening, and it's on. And I've
Okay.
been doing classes. Because I want to learn the Bridge Basi songs and the language.
Okay.
And so I've been doing that every day.
So you've been
And
tuning out from the mundane conversation
noise.
and tuning into
Then of,
this.
then, of course, there's the beauty of japa. And what is japa? It's a sacrifice of the yapping. Do you understand why
Yappa.
it's called the Sankirtan Yagya? Yapa. You understand why it's called the Sankirtan Yagya? It's the sacrifice of
Sacrifice
giving
your
up-
voice, your
sacrificing
energy.
your voice to Lord Vishnu. And so some people, some people get like, oh, why do we have to chant 16 rounds? Because what else are you talking about?
You're going to talk
What else is
nonsense the
coming?
whole 2 hours.
You're going to talk. Yeah, just chant 16 rounds and please, very politely, I say, please shut up. We're just talking anyway. And oftentimes the talking is diverting us.
You got to, as they say in Italy, shut up or your face.
Shut up your face. Yeah.
And just chant your japa, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I was going to say, we were on tour. We were on the bus. Chapu's here. I'm going to share with, and Parmananda, he's with you, but and Parmananda was there and Tara was there, right? But like when we were coming home on the bus from the beach when we were in Italy, remember that?
Yep.
We started talking about Raghunath and Kaustubha when we were on the train waiting to get to the bus, right? And so we said, okay, let's just read about Raghunath and Kaustubha. So when we got on the bus, we opened up the chapters. Ancha Leela, I think chapter 5, maybe 6. I think chapter 5. 5, Chapu? Yeah, she's saying 5. And it's like 329 verses or something like that of Chaitanya Charitamrita, this biography of Sri Chaitanya. But the whole chapter is about Raghunath Das Goswami.
Okay.
Who's this incredibly inspiring, acharya, great teacher in our lineage, right?
Young man left everything.
He left everything behind.
And billions, not like millions, billions.
And then the way that he lived, and so there's so much there. And
like a forest dweller, forager.
Eventually he went there, yeah. And so we just read it. I was reading it. I had Tara on one side, I had Chapu on the other side. And Chapu can testify to this. Like there may have been 20 times while we were reading that where I turned to Tara and kind of quizzed him, like what was coming next. And practically he would say the next verse word for word. I mean, he's, it's deep in him, because rather than wasting time talking about all kind of nonsense his whole life, he's been engaging in deep, rich, authentic, stimulating, intellectual, spiritual conversations based around these beautiful texts. Right. And we read it, and basically it took us that whole 2.5 hours. We read that whole chapter and discussed it. And other people on the bus started coming around because they could feel the spiritual energy, People started coming. I want to get in on this. There's something good happening there. If we just open up these books and read from them and discuss them, there is it satisfies the mind and the soul. It really does. Yeah. Yeah. See, Chapu was saying best 2.5 hours of my life.
Yep.
It's just our time is so valuable.
That's the magic. That's why this stuff is so practical. You add kirtan, chanting chapters, whatever you have to do, whatever dead air you've got going on in your life. Suppose Mara's got to bake herself a birthday cake. You just put on a Vishnu Sahasranaam, 1,000 names of Vishnu. You now have a transcendental cake. It's just holding your mind. Otherwise, where does the mind go in the course of the day?
It goes down.
Oftentimes it goes to anger. Yeah. It goes to lust. Yeah. It goes to resentment.
Yeah.
It goes to fear and anxiety. That is almost like boredom. Boredom. Well, boredom leads to all those things. I'm bored. I'm going to go to my defaults. And how do you get your defaults? You practice them. I practice lust. I practice resentment. I practice fear, and we get good at it. So therefore, the next time I have some boredom, right back to fear, right? Sometimes you could even be having a good time or resting, sitting on the beach, and you're still going to your default. You're at the beach, and you're still going to anxiety.
Okay. Is that Italian guy that was talking to you? He's like, why is the Americano yelling in the car?
Yes, screaming at nobody. Screaming at
There's nobody in there. He's yelling.
It's Amara's birthday. Why is she making her own cake? Why is she listening to Vishnu Sahasranaam on her birthday?
Okay.
But yeah, so this is the thing. The mind, our untrained mind, is incredibly dangerous left alone. It goes to the places we don't want to go. And some of us, it goes to very dark places. And according to our association, our environment, the people we hang out with on a regular basis, what we're consuming on a regular basis, our mind goes straight to hell. Did you
Okay.
Pope said there's no. Have you heard that the Pope said there's no hell?
I did hear that sometime back.
Was that a while ago?
It was sometime back.
There's hell, Pope. I'm going to talk to the Pope. There's hell, and you can experience it on this
What is
earth.
Americano yelling about hell? What?
The Pope said no hell. Papa said no
Oh,
hell.
the Papa. He's saying no hell. Why Americano saying hell? Shut up, you face. All right.
Okay.
All right, Rugger. It's time to get into Bhagavatam. You ready? Let's do it.
Okay. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswati vyasam tatto jayam mudirayat. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is our very means of conquest, one should offer respectable obeisances to the Supreme Lord Narayan. Unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, to Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and to Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nasta prayeshu bhadreshu nityam bhagavat sevaya bhagavati uttama bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. By regular attendance in classes of the Bhagavatam and by rendering service to the pure devotees, all that is troublesome in the heart will become eradicated, and loving service to the Supreme Lord, who is praised with transcendental songs, will be established as an irrevocable fact. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chaksurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkness of ignorance. My teachers are opening my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer obeisances at their lotus feet.
Okay. Whew. Oh, you know what we start today, Raghunath?
What day is it today? I don't even know what day or month it is. Oh, it's August 1st because it's Mayor's birthday.
Okay.
Mark your calendars. Is it like a holy season?
No, we start a new chapter.
Oh.
You're going like off. No.
I was like, is it Kartik?
What is it, Kartik?
The swing.
You really
The
lost
swing.
touch.
The swing. I tell you, you get in the
Swing
van with a
festival?
bunch of guys traveling through borders, you forget who you are, where you are.
Okay, you ready, Raghunath? We're starting chapter
ready.
23 today. It's entitled, this is the last chapter that deals with Maharaj Prithu.
Fantastic.
And you know what it's called?
The disappearance of Maharaj Prithu.
Yeah, more or less.
No,
Maharaj Prithu, yeah, more or less. Maharaj Prithu going back home. He's going back home.
Back home.
Yeah. All right. You look distracted, Raghunath. I want to try to pull you
Laura
in.
Marco is giving me some type of hand signals, like I'm deaf. Like I'm deaf. She's talking with hand language.
She should understand you're on the show right now.
She doesn't get it. She doesn't get it.
All right.
Okay. Let me tell you this, my friends. I have my iPhone.
Sounds like a squirrel.
Read. I cannot read. No, I'm just saying I cannot read.
I'm going to read.
read.
I'll read.
Okay.
So, again, this is going to be the last. We've gone for a long time now. We've gone for months dealing with Maharaj Prithu, going way back to when his body was created, it churned from the body of King Vena. That was a long time ago. We got into that. Mara's not.
Bringing back memories.
Okay.
When Mara was only 39.
Way back then. And so back when she was in her 30s. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is the last chapter. It's about Prithu. He's going to retire from being a king now, right? He's going to let it all go. And he's going to focus in these final years of his life. So there'll be some good instructions here. Okay. And you know what the next chapter is?
What?
You're going to like it, Raghunath.
What's the title?
Chanting the songs sung by Lord Shiva. It's the Prachetas.
Ooh.
Yeah, good stuff, right?
This is good.
Okay, but this
You know,
is
it's interesting. I love this concept of retirement.
Yeah.
We have a new concept of retirement in our culture. Huh? You know, it's sort of like sometimes it's denying our aging. I'm gonna be, or I don't know. Maybe I'm just being.
Well, in other words,
maybe Hare Krishna 2.0 wouldn't be so strict about this.
What?
Maybe they'd be like, you know what? No, people are not denying they're dying. They're just trying to keep themselves busy. I was about to say some heavy stuff about retirees. But
Well,
you know what? No.
the point is this is like, it's kind of like you're coming up to the big test and you're wasting the time before it. It's really when you should be, you know,
Well, not only do they, the main thing is to keep the main thing is they don't even know what the main thing is.
Well, that's the problem.
The main thing is maybe longevity, at best, family,
Recreation.
some type of recreation. But there's a whole thing about adults having, elderly having sex is a huge thing. Like trying to keep that
where
going.
are we going? Where are we going with this?
Whenever Mara doesn't know, she goes, no, she
No,
thinks
don't
I'm not
go
looking.
there. Yeah, don't go there.
But
Right?
it's a thing. It's like, because what else have you cultivated? What else is there?
Well, if you made that as like the ultimate goal and pleasure in life, then you're trying to hang on to it, and there's really no need. You're fighting nature.
Really we're fighting nature. Now's the time to go inward. All our
Let it
training
go.
from our youth.
Yeah.
Now we're going inward.
Work with nature, and that means letting go, because nature's taking it. So let it go. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And we're gonna read about that. Let's start to read. Okay. Text 1 through 3.
Okay.
At the last stage of his life, when Maharaj Prithu saw himself getting old, okay, you see, he's seeing it's happening. Now, is he going to try to hang on? Is he going to let go? What do you think, Raghunath?
Maharaj Prithu, he's going to say, you know what, Krishna,
let it go.
I'm yours. I'm yours.
Yeah. So at the last stage of his life, when Maharaj Prithu saw himself getting old, that great soul, who is king of the world, divided whatever opulence he had accumulated amongst all kinds of living entities, moving and non-moving. So it sounds like he was caring for the citizens. He was even caring for like the nature, right?
Yeah.
He arranged pensions for everyone according to their two dharmic principles. And after executing the orders of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in complete coordination with him, he dedicated his sons unto the earth, which was considered to be his daughter. Interesting, right? He had 5 sons, I believe. And he saw the earth as his daughter. And I guess he dedicated his sons unto the earth, which he considered to be like his daughter. It's
I don't quite get that.
Well, it sounds like they were to protect the earth, like that became their dharma, right?
The older brothers, protecting.
Yeah, Then Maharaj Prithu left the presence of his citizens, who were almost lamenting and crying from feeling of separation from the king, and he went to the forest alone with his wife to perform austerities. So he could be saying, let me use this end of my life for recreation. He could have said, let me use it for, what else did you say?
Golf.
Well, that was recreation, right? But
recreation. I said sex.
Whatever.
I said sex or family. Just
So, but what?
The family.
But they actually
sometimes it's like crossword puzzles.
That's recreation.
It's just like buying time.
Yeah.
Don't you feel like that ever? Like we're just buying time.
I do crossword puzzles occasionally. But,
of course you do.
What, really? Am I that? Does that make sense or something?
I bet Mara does too. Do you do crossword puzzles, Mara?
Not lately, but I used to.
You
think crossword puzzles are boring? I'm guessing.
They're a little boring, but I'm just saying maybe I understand.
A word nerd, you would be. You would think you'd be into it.
A philologist.
Mr. Philology over here.
Listen, my friend, I accept that excitement. I misunderstood excitement, which is the mode of passion, to be fun and exciting. And you two, Mara and Kaustubha, you've been something. Both of you guys. Your whole
you're
life
complimenting us. I see. I thought you were making fun of us. All right.
No, I'm complimenting you, and I understand that I'm entering Saturn. I may need to slow down. I mean, I did this, Italian retreat with the Wisdom of the Sages. Then I went right to a tour.
You can't do that anymore, Raghunath. You can't do that.
Wait a second, it gets crazier. Then I'm flying back home. Mara's picking me up. I got one day off, and the next morning at 6 a.m. I have a flight, and we're going to Bhakti-yogi, and I'm teaching at Yoga 108.
You can't set your schedule. We're gonna change your schedule, Raghunath. We're gonna start to get our whole act together.
Well, my point being is, I understand. I'm realizing this year I've got to start cutting the fat, so to speak. And I have to enter what I once called boring life, and I have to accept that I too will do crossword puzzles.
This is like that Fleetwood Mac song where where it's just like going on about the children are growing up and all of that. What is it? You know that song?
No. What is it?
It's about growing old and everything. You're getting old, Raghunath. Shani. Landslide. It's called Landslide.
John Burke. John Burke's on it.
Okay.
Yes. I'm getting older.
But you know what? It's not a problem, right? It's not boring. Life is still exciting and it's getting deeper, richer, Raghunath.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's finish this verse here. Oh, I did finish the verse. So he went to the forest to perform austerities with his wife. Interesting, right? Vanaprastha, they call it. You walk away from it all, you go out into the forest, and they're going to perform austerities out there. In other words, where most people are trying to satisfy the senses, they're going the opposite direction. They're denying the senses. They're focusing inward, right? I saw a nice quote from Prabhupada today, actually. I should have pulled it up. But it was like this. And let me see if I can find it. I'm going to find it, Raghunath. It's going to take me a second, but...
Are you subscribed to some Prabhupada quote thing that you get?
No, it's just something that I saved on... I saved it one day, and I just came across it this morning. And I'm going to find it right now.
I had a great quote by Prabhupada this morning.
Did you?
That someone asked the question. It was Shanki. Remember Shanki? He asked a question of Prabhupada. Yeah.
Okay, I
he
remember
asked the
him.
question of Prabhupada. Why do we offer these flowers? What benefit do the flowers get when we offer them? And he goes, Prabhupada said, they immediately get a human birth.
It's crazy. I saw that too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Okay, cool.
I just thought that was interesting.
I do too. I'm having
They
trouble.
Go from what were you in your last life? A flower. I think I might have been some type of geranium.
I can't find this quote right now. I'll have to find it later. But more or less what it said was, when someone's searching for happiness externally, they're a materialist. When someone's searching for happiness internally, they're spiritualist. That was the point. Right?
Okay.
And so what Prithu and his wife are doing here is they're getting old. They've accepted it. And rather than trying to fill up the time with like finding comfort or satisfaction for the senses, they're actually going the other way. They're looking for happiness within, and they're doing it with a certain intensity where it's called being a tapasvi, right? You're practicing austerities. You're actually, rather than trying to, you go in the opposite direction. You're actually like denying the senses. But it's bringing your mind inward. It's bringing your focus and attention inward. So it goes on. After retiring from family life, Maharaj Prithu strictly followed the regulations of retired life. There's a whole dharma laid out. And underwent severe austerities in the forest. He engaged in these activities as seriously as he had formerly engaged in leading the government and conquering everyone. Interesting, right? Like as a ruler, that required great energy. Now he's taking that same energy and he's focusing inward. He's conquering his internal, conquering the mind, conquering the lower nature, right? With the same kind of focus, the same kind of energy. After retiring from family life, I read that, in the Tapovan, it's called Tapovan, right? In the forest of austerities, right? In the Tapovan, Maharaj Prithu sometimes ate. Oh, you're going to like this. It's going to go to foraging now. You with me, Raghunath?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Okay.
You know where Tapovan is? It's by Gangotri, by Gomukh.
Way up there. It's beyond.
It's way up. It's beyond. It's
higher. But what Prabhupada's going to say in the commentary here is it seems like he's saying there's many Tapovans. Like there's many. It could be understood more generally. In the Tapovan, Maharaj Prithu sometimes ate the trunks and roots of trees. That's austere. It's like the trunk,
Mara, can you think of, you're a chef. Are there any trunks of trees you can eat?
I'm thinking of the bark of trees that you can eat, but I don't know about the
trunk.
trunk.
What about the roots?
What about?
Dandelion root.
But of trees.
Not that I'm
What about like
of.
that
Stems.
Heart of
Kale
palm.
stems.
What about
Oh
heart
yeah,
of
hearts of palm.
palm.
That's true.
Yeah, AJ Sullivan,
Yeah,
Heart of
AJ
Palm. He
Sullivan,
just
yeah.
good job.
That's only.
Maybe he was just wandering in the forest eating hearts of palm.
It's possible. So in the top of on Maharaj,
Sassafras and sassafras.
in
You're just
top of
drinking root beer. What kind of austerity is that? Root
in,
beer and hearts of palms? That sounds incredible.
in top of on Maharaj Prithu sometimes ate the trunks and roots of trees. Sometimes he ate fruit and dried leaves. And for some weeks he drank only water. And finally he lived simply by breathing air. Right.
That's pretty
Let's see what Prabhupada says there. He says, in
dry
Bhagavad Gita,
leaves, Mara. What dry leaves can you eat?
any dry leaf.
Yeah, a lot of
practically.
dried leaves.
In Bhagavad Gita, yogis are advised to go to a secluded place in the forest and live alone in a sanctified spot there. This is 6th chapter Bhagavad Gita, right?
Okay.
By Prithu Maharaj's behavior, we can understand that when he went to the forest, he did not eat any cooked food sent from the city by some devotee or disciples.
He's the original raw foodist.
As soon as one takes a vow to live in the forest, they must simply eat roots, tree trunks, fruits, dried leaves, or whatever nature provides in that way.
You don't even know what to do unless you've been doing that your whole life.
Prithu Maharaj just strictly adopted these principles for living in the forest, and sometimes he ate nothing but dried leaves and drank nothing but a little water. Sometimes he lived on nothing but air, and sometimes he ate some fruit from the trees. In this way, he lived in the forest and underwent severe austerities, especially in regards to eating. In other words, overeating is not at all recommended for one who wants to progress in spiritual life. What's the verse, Raghu?
Acho Vegam, Manasakroda Vegam.
Oh, okay. Well, I was thinking of something similar, or well, Prabhupada was thinking something similar. Sri Rupa Goswami also warns that too much eating and too much endeavor. Now, can you get the verse? Atyahara,
Achahara Priyayascha, Prajalpa
Prajalpa
Niyamagraha.
Niyamagraha, Janasangas Chalalyam Cha, Sadbir, Bhaktir, Vinasyati. Right. These are 6 things that eat away, right, erode, that block one's development of bhakti.
The termites of your spiritual life.
Oh, termites of your spiritual life. We're the termites of spiritual life.
Mara, that's a good one, right? Termites of your spiritual life. Okay.
I'm going to read that verse
those.
right now.
Let's talk about those.
Here's the verse. Okay, this is from a small book, but an important book written by Rupa Goswami called Upadeshamrita, the Nectar of Instruction. This is text number 2. And I'll tell you something, Raghunath. I don't know if you know this. I may reveal something that you never knew. This verse, Atyahara Parasyascha Prajalpa Niyamagraha Janasangas Chalalyam Cha, and then it says Sadbir Bhaktir Vinasyati. Vinasyati means?
Giving up.
No, Vinasyati means like destroys.
Okay.
So Sadbhi, these 6, Bhakti, Vinasyati, they destroy your Bhakti. But this exact verse appears in another text, except one word is changed. The word bhakti is, instead of bhakti, it says yoga, sadbhi yoga vinasyati.
Acha, is this in Yoga Sutras or
No.
the Hatha Yoga Pradipika?
Hatha Yoga Pradipika.
Hatha Yoga Pradipika.
Yes, it's so. In other words, there are the yogic texts that are written in a certain kind of format, and Rupa Goswami just borrowed it. He just kind of said, "Okay, that works," but we're gonna say specifically about bhakti. So atyahara means overeating or too much collecting, right? That's not good for your bhakti, either one. Atyahara. Yeah. These 6 things, one's devotional service is spoiled when they become too entangled in the following 6 activities: eating more than necessary, collecting more funds than required, or collecting more stuff, let's say, than required, right? Not going to help your bhakti. It's gonna eat away. It's gonna be like a termite. Over endeavoring for mundane things.
Oh yeah.
Over endeavoring for mundane things that are very difficult to obtain. Sometimes we're working hard for something and we're just wasting our life on it, right?
that really shoots down the whole power of intention thing. I want it. I am dreaming. I see it. I see myself getting it. I can picture it.
See yourself letting it go. Okay. Third.
Well, I mean, that's a hard one to understand for an American. Like that almost says like, stop dreaming. Just accept your life of mediocrity.
Well, you know, I think that plays into the kind of thing where, like, of course, there's that story about the that renunciate who was living out in the forest and all he had was his copins, right? His loincloth.
Yeah.
But he had two of them, and he would wear one and hang the other one, wash the other and hang it up to dry. And then he saw that the mouse was eating away at the
So he bought a cat.
So he got it. So he got a cat, and then the cat had to be fed. So he got a cow, and it just kept getting more. Our lives just keep getting more and more complicated.
Yeah, yeah. I get it.
And so, you know, we may spend our whole life just like working hard for something that we don't even need. I wanted that big house. I wanted some kind of prestige. I wanted a job. I worked so hard to get it, and it just complicated my whole life to get there. And then when I got there, I wasn't happy either.
Yeah, I get it.
Okay.
Collecting.
Yeah. Well, collecting is another thing. That was the Atyahara, right? Got too much stuff in the closets and the garages. It's all piling up. It's not making me happy.
What I said this morning that was insightful, it just sort of flowed out.
I forget.
It's the who's, not the whats.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Because you concentrate on the what's, it leads you to what else. It gives you the what else's.
Okay. All right, thank you.
I got a motorcycle. I want 2 motorcycles. You know, I want 3 motorcycles. It's like, how many? You do that with people do that with shoes or clothing.
Do you know guys that are like these sneaker freaks that like, got like actually like 100 pair of sneakers?
Maybe Paramananda. I'm not sure. No, not possible. Not possible.
I have friends like that they got like a ton. It's like, come on, man. Like, how many do you need? Okay, I could get it. Maybe a few different colors for different outfits or something. Okay, maybe.
Mara asked me and Bobby Marchand to come to her house and go through all clothes and get rid of clothes. She's renouncing her clothing.
Mm-hmm.
Mara is?
Yeah.
For your birthday? Was that like a I'm turning 40 thing?
I'm turning 40, like, let it go.
Yeah.
Okay, I like it. Okay, so
I love her answer.
Sorry.
Yeah. Am I gonna have to be quiet?
She's kind of like, anything I say is going to be judged and twisted and made fun of. And
Am I going to have to be quiet? Wait a second. We forgot the most important news of the day.
What?
And only hardcore fans can appreciate this.
Oh, yeah. This is a shout out.
We got to give a shout out to one of our most inspirational, at least for me as a songwriter, inspirational bands when I was a kid. And their band was called SSD Control.
Society System Decontrol.
And they were the best band ever. Matter of fact, I can safely say we formed our whole band, Youth of Today, around this band. We love this band so much. But the guy never seemed like, I never really knew him. He was very mysterious. And the band broke up.
Did you ever see SSD?
No.
How is that possible?
Because I'm a jerk. And you did, I know.
I saw him at least a few times. I saw him in Urban Plaza. I saw him in CB's.
Man, don't rub it in.
All right.
I love them. I love them with all my heart. But check this out. I've been getting these weird messages from the guitar player.
Not weird.
Like, not weird, but like hints. Like he was listening to our show.
Like he would have had to,
Like he would have had to listen to the show. He would just make me like little clues. He'd drop me clues.
Mm-hmm.
And sure enough, he says he listens to the show on YouTube, watches the show on YouTube, and he says, the 3 of us all have a very organic way we
chemistry
do this together. Chemistry. And I just didn't think he would. I don't really know him, but I didn't think he would be into.
Well, the thing was like SSD, and I think particularly Al, who's the guitarist, you'd think of him as like these tough Boston guys. It's like
really tough Boston guys. You don't think of them as spiritual, tough Boston guys.
And I never heard any kind of spiritual kind of stuff coming out of their music or anything like that. I was surprised to hear it, but I was touched. And I
was touched. I love him.
Touched. Yeah, I was touched that he's listening to the show every day. Says he listens every day and watches it on YouTube. So, Al,
shout out.
Thank you.
Shout out.
I saw you guys when I was a kid, man. I saw you way back when you come to New York.
You shaped me. You shaped me to be the man I am.
All right. And you know, his wife is really cool. I don't.
His wife's very cool. She
You
wrote
know-
a great book.
She wrote a book called, what is it? I won't carry your coat, or I'm not carrying your coat.
Not here. Something like I'm not here to carry your coat. If someone knows, put it on the board.
Like that. But she was like a promoter of like hardcore shows going way back, and she was from Philadelphia. And you know, it's the kind of thing like, well, she was probably a bit older than me, right? Like at about 82 or something when I was like 15. I got into when I was 81, I was 15. So when I was 15, 16, you know, I'm sure I was in the same room with her many times, right? But I don't know if we ever talked to each other, something like that. But when she brings up her memories, like she does on Instagram stuff, I'm like, that's how I remember hardcore. Like that was the hardcore that I lived, right? Like that world.
Someone, if they follow her, they can put her up on the board, please.
Yeah. Yeah. She posted, I think it was her that posted. See, she would promote these shows, and I think she posted like a minor threat show that she put together in Philadelphia. And I watched that video, and there was a lot of people from New York there, and it was a relatively decent quality. And what it did to me, man, it was like really weird. It brought me back, like, you know, like that was, you know, like people talk about hardcore now and they're talking about like Madball or what, and I'm like, that's, to me, that was the hardcore that I
generation.
Yeah, that was my generation. And
Ramah Davey, wait a second, Ramah Davey, who I had no clue knows anything about this stuff.
She pulled it up.
She said, "I'm not holding your coat, my bruises, and all memoir of punk rock rebellion."
And the thing is, she's like a teacher now in Boston, and she's like, it seems like she's like a really well respected, loved by the kids. Like she can relate. She took her hardcore experience and somehow translated that into like how she relates to her students, like high school students. And it seems like it's
cool.
There's some real integrity and some real connection going on there.
Very
so
cool.
Anyway, shout out to her too. I feel bad that I'm forgetting her name.
Yeah.
Ramah Davey, maybe you can pull that up.
Ramah Davey. Is Ramah Davey hardcore?
I don't know. Oh, she just came out with that.
Where did she get that from? Name on the board.
Nancy
Burrell. Nancy Burrell,
yeah,
that's right.
Nancy Burrell.
I follow her on Instagram.
Okay. All right. Anyway.
All right, let's get it.
Thanks to both of you. Thanks to both of you.
Yeah, that was an important. It wasn't a squirrel. That was a.
That was a shout out.
It was a shout out.
He's another. He's actually an other, right? So that was just a connection with another. All right. So we were going through the 6 things that destroy bhakti. We had eating and collecting too much. We had over endeavoring for mundane things in life. And then the third one, it just goes to where we started. Prajalpa, right? Let's read it again. My soul and mind are starving for deep, rich, authentic, stimulating, and intellectual, spiritual conversations. That's what's going to make our life worth living. But no, we get involved in prajalpa, talking unnecessarily about mundane subject matters. There's no
Prabhu,
juice. Yeah.
Prabhu, let's just get the microscope out a little bit. Like, why is it wrong to collect stuff? Why is it wrong to have lots of stuff? Because there is a like a what do you call that? A dopamine dump that you get when you're like, I got a new. Like, I love pickup trucks. Imagine if someone drove my pickup truck and they said, I got the 2022 version of your truck in a different color. I'd be like, oh my God, cool. And here's another one. Here's a 1972 F-150. What do you think of that?
Well, so
cool.
it's
exciting.
You get the dopamine rush.
You get the dopamine rush, and then it just becomes like a cluttered closet. You got tons of stuff, and it gives. There's more pleasure in showing it off to other people, which is pleasure. Like for example, imagine if Mara loved trucks. I like Mara. Check out my new 1972 Ford pickup F-150. Check out my 19. No, she's not. But I'm just saying.
If she was,
the pleasure is more like showing it off. There's little pleasure in the drive. There's some pleasure in the drive of the truck, but like then you got to deal with. But a lot of the pleasure is in the showing it in off. So it's ego pleasure. Or
it's in going back to Motorhead, right? The chase is better than the catch. It's actually like there's a thrill in trying to obtain it.
Yeah.
and then when you finally get it, actually, there's no satisfaction there. But it's not saying that it's like sinful in that sense, but it's a false strategy that's just going to eat away your time and energy and waste
your time,
your life.
your energy, and your resources.
Your resources.
Because then you got to maintain all this stuff.
Yeah.
For people who have collections, like real collections, like an art collection, you've got to like maintain that stuff.
Really?
To maintain art, yeah, it's got to be temperature controlled rooms.
Okay.
It's got to be framed especially.
Mm-hmm.
It's exhausting.
All right. Okay. So so in any case, it's not saying you're going to go to hell. It's saying that you're going to miss this great opportunity of human life.
Prabhu.
It's the purpose, right?
Prabhu. This is very similar. We had this driver yesterday who drove us here.
Yeah.
And she was, I was sitting in the passenger seat doing my Hindi. And when I stopped, she said, "Let me ask you some questions about your religion."
Hold it, you had a driver?
Yeah, we have a driver.
You got like a bus or something? What's going on?
We got like a giant Sprinter.
I don't even know what that is, but okay.
A Sprinter's like a big Mercedes van, like the Mara knows what a Sprinter is.
You can't drive it yourself? What's with you?
Excuse me. We have a driver and a tour. We have a tour manager too.
Okay.
Right,
I guess you're up late. It's good to have a driver.
Yeah, you need a driver.
Okay.
All right, so check this out. It's not like
Are you sure that's not over collecting?
It's not like a chauffeur. I got a Bulgarian driver over here.
Okay.
There he is. There's our driver. But anyway, he wasn't here. We had an Italian girl driving us. And she asked this very simple question, like, tell me about your religion. And she started asking about, like, so I can't eat meat. So I can't, drink alcohol anymore. Just like you're talking about these things. You can't. Don't over collect. It sounds like the religion of no fun.
Okay.
But it's not that. And I tried to say, I said, listen, our goal is to fall in love with Krishna. Just like we're driving down this road, we're trying to drive to Milan. That's the goal. That's where we want to go.
The whole blossoming of the heart.
Yeah. What? Yeah. So anyway, my point was that these regulations won't help you. That they won't give you Krishna. They're not Krishna. They're not falling in love with Krishna. But it's like I'm saying, okay, we're going to Milano. Drive on the opposite side of the road, or drive on the shoulder. Those are just they're just rules to assist you to get there the quickest.
Okay.
Will alcohol kill your bhakti? Not necessarily, but it will divert you so far.
Okay, Raghunath, how much vino have you been having over there? Okay. Not necessarily.
Well, I'm trying to think of, and when I said that, I thought like it's a massive deterrent. Alcohol is a massive deterrent. It's like taking like a detour that's way off track, leading into the forest. And why? Like say something like alcohol. Why? Because you start getting into the hit of the alcohol, the hit of the sense gratification, the hit of the purchasing of stuff. And that hit detracts you from the genuine spiritual hit of bhakti, the joy of bhakti.
All right. Well, Raghunath, that's a great point. And we're going to come. I suggest tomorrow we start. We've run out of time, but I suggest tomorrow we come back to these 6 and revisit them. Okay.
They're good.
All right.
How's our time? It's time.
We're out of time.
It's a time for it.
Oh, by the way, big announcement. We're on at a different time tomorrow. Did we say that?
Tomorrow's show.
Manjari.
What?
Tomorrow's show is going to be at night.
Raghunath.
There's a delay.
Okay. Mara, what time are we on tomorrow?
Tomorrow's show, 9 a.m.
9 a.m. It's a crazy time. We're doing it at a different time tomorrow. Let everybody know.
Time.
Okay.
I have a crazy travel schedule.
And are there any takeaways for today?
Yes. We're burning through time quick.
We're burning through time quick. We're doing time. We're doing time and burning through time.
It's not the what's that make a difference. It's the who's.
Ooh,
Is that the
the
what?
who's.
Horton hears the who from
Spirit,
Whoville.
spiritual.
What about the
who's-
who? It's
You
the
are
who.
you are squirrel per day, my
All right.
friend.
Spiritual who's bring you to new levels.
Ooh, spiritual who's. We could do better than that, though. I think
Yes.
spiritual who's are our muse.
Ooh.
Spiritual hues help deconfuse. Spiritual who's
Can write poems, Kaustubha.
help me get over the
You are
blues. Spiritual who? Okay.
We're a spiritual experience that forgot.
We're a spiritual.
We're a
experience.
spiritual experience that forgot. Love
Okay.
it.
There's no
T-shirt.
hope.
There's no
There's
hope.
no hope.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy
man.
birthday.
Listen.
There's no hope. The hope's on the back.
By the way, Raghunath, I saw that there's an action figure of you out there.
Did you see that?
And people were saying that
guy
it looked
in
like
Italy.
angry Kaustubha, but I'm looking. It looks like Steve Amari, actually.
Maybe it's a Steve Amari action.
Steve, you
figure.
got to see it. It
I
looks
thought
just
it looked-
like you,
I thought it looked like Jeff Eisenberg.
but maybe
action
angry
figure.
Steve Amari. It looks kind of like. Doesn't look like Jeff Eisenberg at all. Okay, Mara, continue,
All right.
please.
The soul and mind are starving for spiritual conversation.
They are.
Stone walls are the closest thing we've got to eternity.
Maybe.
That is that's like
I
a
don't know
metal,
this.
that's a metal record.
Okay.
What do you think
Work
you're
on
gonna
that.
argue with me on that point?
I didn't think it was.
Stone walls.
Yeah, I'm not sure it was the closest thing that
I
we
think
had.
that's one of the deepest things I've ever said.
You've done better,
You're
Raghunath.
like, and that's sad.
You've done better. No, you've definitely done better. Okay.
All right.
Oh, here comes
Beware.
somebody.
Yeah. And beware the termites of spiritual life.
Beware the termites.
Beware the termites of spiritual life. Sammy
Hey, is that
Siegler
Sammy?
here, drummer.
I know we had
That's
Sammy on the
the
show.
drummer.
Hello, everybody.
Yes.
What's going on, Sammy?
How are you?
They're talking about
What
you.
kind of weird place are you playing today?
What kind of weird place are we playing today?
This is some good karma coming back. We played many people's houses and abandoned buildings and
Can
all
you hear
sorts of stuff, and now we
Yeah.
have this wonderful situation here, which has been provided.
We've been playing squats and dirt holes for years, and now we're
Oh
playing
no! Oh,
palace.
so okay. So you think you earned this, Raghu?
Did I earn this? No, it's just
Here's your house.
some blessing. All
Okay.
right, look at this place. Look at this place.
I want a whole report on what this show is like. One person
You better
watching your band
you better
play.
Mara, can you spotlight me while I'm walking through a palace, please?
Yeah, don't lose your connection.
Don't lose your connection.
I'm following
Okay, good.
my boy around.
It's a nice house. Nice property.
Look at this place.
Italy's so beautiful.
And then we're gonna play some hardcore.